Today, I want to talk about why you should start a YouTube channel in 2025, even if nobody watches. And I'm going to talk about, the financial and business and smart angles of that and the benefits and changes that it's brought for me in that area. But also, I'm going to talk about the personal reasons why you should do this and how it might actually end up changing your life in more ways than you can possibly realize, because it has changed my life. So I want to talk about my experiences and why I think it could be very, very beneficial to you in just about every aspect of your life. So the first is obviously going to be money. Now, the number one reason people probably start a YouTube channel is because they want to make some extra money online. And I can tell you now, YouTube is not get rich quick. You're going to have to put a lot of work into making it happen. But it is a great long-term business, and it can be great for stable growth and a variety of different things. Now, YouTube has literally completely changed my life and allowed me complete financial freedom in my life, because I've created and tried many different endeavors online, from online courses, coaching programs, agencies, so many different things. I've even had multiple YouTube channels with varying degrees of success, some very successful and then others, medium success and everything else. But you can still get massive returns from even a small channel. This small branded channel, which is, maybe medium size now, but it's made me a huge amount of money for the size of the channel because of the attention economy. You've maybe heard of this attention economy term that's being thrown around, and it's basically attention is the new gold rush. It's the new oil rush. It's the way that you leverage and make more money these days. There's lots of celebrities and famous influencers and everything else that grow their accounts for long periods of time, so that when they do leverage that attention to sell something, it goes massively well for them. So The Rock and Conor McGregor and all of these famous people, they've got their own liquor brands that they then sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm not necessarily talking about that, but I want to use that as a demonstration of the attention economy in work, and why, if you can leverage attention, you're going to be able to potentially always make money online. So by being, as I said, I've started all those different businesses and many of them actually failed. But the stable thing throughout all of that has been my YouTube channel. And because I've been able to make videos and leverage that attention, it's always been at the core of it. So even when things didn't fail, when it failed, I could try something else. And then when that did succeed, because of that attention I got, I could quickly pivot and change and make money in a variety of different ways. So if you can get traffic and attention and eyeballs, then you're always going to be able to make money. So from that angle, starting a YouTube channel, be it for your business or as a business, is a fantastic idea. The next point is that it's a low investment startup. You don't need a lot of stuff. Simply your phone these days, just grabbing your phone and starting to record, is everything you need. Obviously, if you can get a microphone or something like that, but you're essentially able to start a channel anywhere in the world with minimal equipment. You got a phone, you can get going. You got a computer, you can get going. You get a low-cost camera, you can get going. So you don't need much to get started. So it's definitely, in terms of a business, it's very low startup. Yes, there's a lot to learn. Yes, you'll have to make do and try and be creative and overcome different struggles and everything else to get in front of the camera or make content. But that's a learning curve. No matter what you do in life, in business, or starting any type of business, there's going to be an investment. That's why they say, I'm going to invest in a business. It's not always financial investment. It's time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears. But in terms of lean startups, YouTube is the cheapest thing you could possibly do, really, other than other types of social media. But there's very little required to get started. So it's a great low barrier to entry starting point for you to start potentially making some money online. The next one is connections and opportunities. Now, you're going to meet a lot of people as you grow. People are going to reach out to you for sponsorship deals and everything else. A lot of it's going to be spammy, dodgy crap. But as you grow, the opportunities will come your way. People will want to work with you. As you grow, by association, you'll meet more people at your level and perhaps a little bit above. And these are going to be connections and like-minded people that want to collaborate, businesses that want to collaborate. There's going to be a lot more opportunities and connections as you grow that naturally occur. As you put yourself more out there, you start to attract people in. There's a reason they call this attraction marketing. As you're putting out content, You're getting people to come to you rather than actively going to try and chase down customers, clients, and everything else by doing, say, ads or cold calls and everything else. YouTube and social media in general is attraction marketing. So people come to you. Now, that's a great thing. Your type of people come to you. Your audience come to you. People like you come to you. And, networking, it happens automatically. So it will naturally increase your sphere of influence, and you'll make some great connections the longer you stick at it, and you'll also get some amazing opportunities. There's a lot of YouTubers that start to do other things on the side because of those connections and opportunities that they make. So most of the money that people make is never from ad revenue or anything like that. It's always from, say, sponsorship or creating their own products, or monetizing businesses in different ways with that attention that they manage to leverage. The other thing is in-demand skills. Now, if you start a YouTube channel, you're going to be learning so many skills. YouTube itself is complicated enough. You've got to work out how YouTube and the algorithm works. And if you can understand that, at least the basics of it, then you're going to know a lot more than most of the people on YouTube. If you can then get in front of a camera, then you've got a massively in-demand skill, because most people are not willing to do this. They're not willing to go through the uncomfortableness. And I can tell you now, I really hated the sound of my voice on camera. But you eventually get used to it. You may never love it, but you will get better, and you'll get used to the sound of your own voice. It won't sound so cringe. So you'll just get better. But you're also learning a lot of in-demand skills. You're learning editing. You're learning probably a basic graphic design in terms of creating your own thumbnails. You learn about marketing and the psychology of getting people to click. You learn about social media and how that all the different platforms work together, leveraging attention. You're just going to learn so many in-demand skills. And as we're in an attention economy, well, those are the skills that everybody wants right now. Even if you end up giving up on your channel, you now have skills that you can leverage to go away and start working for other people. You could do some editing for other people. You could create content for other people. You could record videos for other people. So you're learning in-demand skills, and that will make you more bulletproof as the rise of AI and other automations and everything else start to replace other people in different industries. YouTube isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So however you work and understand how YouTube works and the things around it and the attention economy, you're going to have skills that other people don't. You will be ahead of the curve. So just by investing, even as a hobby in YouTube, you're going to be learning skills that will potentially protect your income and your ability to make money long term. So it's just a good investment in terms of developing new skills, 100%. I think a massive one that many people, from a personal point of view, but also in life and business and everything else, all of these things are connected. But a big one for me is confidence. Getting on camera, and I'm an introvert, believe it or not. I mean, many people that do this and really push themselves, they're the people that don't want to get on camera. The reason faceless channels have become so massive, although now I think it's saturated and I think the barrier to entry is too high. So it's not one that I necessarily recommend. So if you can get on camera and you can push through that pain, you've got a massive unfair advantage. And the skills you're going to learn in life and everything else from having the confidence to do this and pushing through that pain when most people won't. Most people would rather just do the faceless part. Even though if you could just get over that initial struggle, that initial pain, the fear of being judged. And I can tell you now, nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a crap. And this is something that you need to realize. Gary Vaynerchuk has been saying it for years, but really it's struck home a lot recently. We've got wars going on in the world and people barely care about those. Do you think they really care about you and your little YouTube channel? No one gives a crap. It's forgotten. If you do get a throwaway comment that negatively impacts you, I guarantee all of those comments are from people that haven't even watched the video. It's just the title that triggered them or the first 30 seconds. So they haven't watched the video, but people they come from a place of anger and they just throw comments at you. But what they're doing to you is showing you two things. One, you're getting attention, so therefore you're winning. This is a good sign. The moment you get haters, it means your videos are being shared out to a broader audience. Because if you're only with your small audience, then that means that they agree with you on everything. You're in your own little echo chamber. But the moment you expand and you start getting haters, this fills me with joy because I'm like, yes, I've got haters. That means my video is getting shared out further by YouTube. It's going bigger. I've just got a couple of comments this morning and I just immediately hide the channel from them. I don't argue with them or anything else because they're not my people. And they've done me a favor by showing who they are, because they'll probably dislike videos in future if they've subscribed. So I'd rather hide the channel from them and just remove them. Don't invest in it. But the great thing is that it's showing that my videos are being pushed out more, and that what I'm doing is actually working. Because if you're not being a little bit polarizing and you don't have haters, then you're probably not pushing the boundaries enough. So know that nobody gives a crap. Literally nobody cares. Even if you're filming walking down the street and it feels super awkward, people will look with interest. But for the most part, people care about their lives. They don't care about you and your struggles. They care about their lives. We're all quite selfish in our own little way, and we're all in our own little bubbles, and we all have our own insecurities. So honestly, no one cares. And starting a YouTube channel will be it'll be so good in terms of your overall confidence in all aspects of your life. So I think for that alone, there's a reason there's this whole public speaking. I can't remember the name of the club that's around the world, but there's this public speaking clubs where these skills people learn to help them in life with their confidence and everything else. Because speaking in public, speaking on camera, these are all skills that will make you in a society of other people. We are society, whether we're becoming more disconnected or not, we are a society. So these skills, it will just change your life. So enough on that. It will change your life, just getting more confidence. Even if you're always a bit awkward, the confidence it will give you is absolutely massive. The other one, which is also a big one for me, is freedom. You can work from anywhere. Sure, I've got a little studio set up in this location, but I'm going to be starting to record more outdoors because I want to be out of this office a bit more. But you can essentially record and create videos anywhere. If you have a camera, you can create it anywhere. Unless you're doing really high production things like Mr. Beast, where you need a big studio, then why? And if you think you need a studio, is that because of your lack of confidence? You don't want to go out into the general public? Or are you just overcomplicating things? Could you make it simpler and still make it work? So essentially, you can do this from anywhere. All you need is a computer or something to edit on. You can pretty much do that on your phone these days. You can almost run an entire channel from your phone. It'd be a bit more difficult and probably take more time in terms of editing and everything else, but you could do it. So there's no reason that you can't just work from anywhere. So this really gives you the freedom lifestyle. I haven't lived in the UK, which is my home country, in the last 10 years. I've literally lived all around the world on a number of different continents, and I love that freedom. Freedom for me is absolutely everything. So by making money online, you have that freedom. Now, there's a number of ways that you could obviously do that: by selling your time as a freelancer, working remotely, or by running a YouTube channel. Now, a YouTube channel, as I said before, once you can leverage attention for the attention economy, it's not about forget ad revenue. Once you can leverage attention, you can monetize attention easily. You can monetize it with products, you can monetize it with sponsorship, affiliate products, your own coaching services. There's so many different ways you can monetize the attention once you have it. Monetizing attention is not the problem. Getting the attention is the real skill. So I could teach you in a weekend everything else you need to know about monetizing. This is not a problem. But in terms of actually getting on camera and doing this part, this is the hurdle that you need to overcome. Now, it's not that difficult, and if you would like more training on it, I have a free 30-day YouTube growth sprint, which I will link to in the video description. It's completely for free, and it will take you step by step through the process of starting, finding your channel, and growing it in a speed run in perfect action over a 30-day period. So I will put a link to that in the video description. But you don't need to do much to get started, and that's really what takes me on to the next point. There's a big movement now, which is, I think, backlashing from all of the AI stuff, and I've mentioned this a lot. People are really engaging with more authentic content right now. They don't want heavily scripted, heavily produced content as much. That stuff will still work, but it's not the go-to anymore. Vlogging styles and simple, low-effort content, more real content, is coming back into fashion. Now, if you told me that vlogging was going to come back into fashion, I know that it never fully went away. It just evolved slightly. But, vlogging 20 years ago was the thing. This was what YouTube was all about. Well, that's coming back because there's a lot of fake content out there, overly polished. It doesn't feel real. People want connection more after the likes of COVID and everything. So now we want that connection again. And that comes from more real content. So the formula that I keep saying that I think people should really look towards as the new vlogging style is IRL plus POV plus edu, which essentially is IRL, in real life, plus POV, point of view, plus edu, which is education. So you want to have your in real life, make it rough so that it's entertaining, there's things going on around you, and it just makes it more engaging. We need stimulants when we're watching, but then point of view as well. We want your opinions. We want polarizing opinions. We want to see the processes of you doing things. And then obviously educational aspects add an extra layer to the video. So it's not just about a day in the life. Here's me walking around having a coffee or chatting about my day and what I have to do later on. Boring. Some people will be interested if you are an interesting person. But for the most part, you need to add extra layers. So there's lots of people documenting their life. And this is a new thing. I think documenting your life is key. But this is not a day in the life thing. Most of the people that do the sort of diary stuff, they're going to university and doing other stuff so that there is a thread of what they're doing. But the biggest sort of point of view ones that are happening now are where people are documenting businesses. They're starting different types of businesses and documenting their life and the day-to-days of the business. And that's what people want to see. They want to see behind the curtain. They want to see inside and know what's going on. So these ones are doing very, very well. So you don't need to have highly polished stuff. Vlogging, just producing more content, I think these days is more key than ever. It's not so much about subscribers anymore. It's more about the individual content and producing as much of it as possible. Now, obviously, you don't want to get too invested and produce a video that took you 2 weeks to make and then you get no views. So especially in the beginning when you don't really know what's happening, you want to throw a lot of spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. So just produce low effort content, speak to a particular avatar. That's more important than ever. Understand what they want and their goals and everything else. And as I said, I'll help you in that training, go through that process. But once you know who you're making the videos for, it makes it much easier because then you speak to that and you have a thread that ties it through, a bit like documenting the journey. And I think the last point is probably that you find your people. On YouTube, maybe you blab on about mountain biking and everybody in your friends and family hates mountain biking and they hate that you blab on about it and you just won't shut the hell up about it. But on YouTube, you can find your people. People will love the fact that you blab on about it and you'll make connections. Maybe you could build communities like I'm potentially doing now where you bring all these people together. And that gives you an option in future to potentially monetize, but you can get more of your people together. You talk shop, you have an opportunity to be passionate and meet all like-minded people, your people. So that's what I love about YouTube. You find your people and you can talk shop with them. I can talk to my partner about YouTube, but she glazes over it. She's just not interested. But if you meet another YouTuber, another creator, you can talk for hours and talk shop. And that's really a great thing. So rather than not tapping into your passions or not speaking up as much about your passions, better just to find your people and really blab on about it to your heart's content. So that's another thing I really love about YouTube is the opportunity to find your people and create your own sort of community bond around that. So even if you're working online doing other stuff, working online and working freelance or working remotely these days can be very lonely. So being able to connect with other people, especially if you're doing it off of YouTube, is great. It's good for finding your people, good for your mental health and everything else. So there you go. Those are my reasons why you should definitely start a YouTube channel in 2025. I'm sure that you won't regret it. Yes, there'll be bumps along the way, but I think absolutely everybody should document their journey and should start a channel, even if it's just for fun. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, hit the like button. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you inside the next one.